Guys and girls, now I've just been into Moto and my aim today was to find something that was less than £2,000 and was new. Tough ask, I know, but I found something, so let's have a look. This is the bike that I found. It is Sim's Jet 4 RX 125. And I actually like the looks of this for a modern scooter. I'm normally into my classic scooters. I just find the lines and everything on them nicer. However, this bike is up for sale at £1,999 plus on the road. So yeah, I suppose I've cheated a bit with my brief of £2,000. But what we'll do, let's have a look around the usual way. I'll show you some bits I like. If I find anything I don't, I'll share that with you as well. But let's start usual fashion. Let's start with the full walk around so you can see it from all different angles. Yeah, I like what I'm looking at. I like the looks of it. I like the colour scheme. Now you can see this is showing on a 74 plate. Believe it is a pre-registered bike with 0 miles, so it is essentially a new bike, but it has been registered. What we've got on this is some cast aluminium wheels, brake disc at the front with a 2-piston caliper and a drum brake on the rear. Suspension wise, there is just a single shock on the rear, just this one on the left, so we'll see how that copes with the cobbles. Full LED setup on this. Yeah, I like the lights front and rear, think they look nice. So what we've got here power wise, the engine's a 125cc. I've already told you that. Now that delivers 11.3 horsepower, which is just over 8 kilowatts. It is a belt drive and it does claim a top speed of over 60 miles an hour. 61.5 to be precise. Now that's always the target for me. If a 125 can do 60, we're off to a winner, and this can. One thing I do like with this bike is it does have the exposed bars. Quite a lot of scooters have the plastic casing going over it, and yeah, they do it, it makes it tidier, you can't see the wires and things, so I kind of see why they do it. However, it does eliminate the option of mounting something on the bars. So if you were to put a sat-nav, a phone mount, something like that, you can't do it. Where on this, you can. So I like it. I'm not bothered about seeing wires. I like the practicality of being able to mount something. Buttons on this, very motorcycle-like with your horn indicators, high and low beam. Right hand side, adjust your engine start and your hazard warning lights. Little twist, so we've got an old style LCD screen, but I don't have a problem with it. It's nice and clear. You've got a speedo, there is a fuel gauge, there's a trip and total miles, there's a rev counter going round as well. And there's a couple of buttons here. You press on these. Okay, so you can change your miles or your trip to a clock. Yeah, and that goes to a voltmeter as well, so going round. So yeah, it's fairly basic. But let's have a look under the seat. Looks very comfortable, I've got to say. Yeah, does. We'll talk about that in a sec. Let's look under it first of all. Now that actually does look like a lot of storage space. A lot of scooters would be maybe cut off here, but you've got all this extra room there. So I will go and grab a helmet shortly and I'll see if a full face fits in. It does look like it might. We'll find out shortly. What I have spied under here is a USB. Now I don't get it personally why they would have a USB in here. Yes, it would be practical to put your phone under the seat and to charge it, and it's safely out the way, and you're not going to lose it because it's locked and all that. However, if you want to mount something on those bars I was talking about, you're not going to have a wire running from under your seat to the bars. So yeah, I don't quite get that, but it's got one, so we're off to a fairly good start. Toolkit in there as well. Let me go and grab a helmet. So I've just gone into Moto and just grabbed any old helmet off the shelf, just a full face one. This is an MT helmet, $79.99. It's a budget helmet, but it is a full face helmet, so if this fits in, now that shocked me. See if there's anything I can do here to assist. I don't think. No. Now that's really shocked me, that, because the storage on this does look decent, and it looks quite long. It's quite wide. It's certainly wide enough for a full face helmet to go in. However, it's not quite deep enough. So while it fits in, the seat is a couple of inches off closing. So yes, it is a pain, but if you had a smaller helmet, or you just wanted to use it, it's a very usable bit of storage under that seat. Just won't fit a full face in like this one. Shame. You can see this is currently on its center stand, but there is a side stand as well. If you were just nipping somewhere very quickly, you just wanted to leave it for a bit, side stand's good, but center stand's always better for a bit of storage. When I say storage, I mean storing the bike. Now this bike is really light, 115 kilograms, so getting it on and off the center stand is ridiculously easy. And it really is, and it's an easy bike to move around, to push about, absolutely just no effort at all. To put it on the center stand, I don't even have to put all my weight on it. Normally, or sometimes I will say, you've got to be a bit aggressive. Not with this. Literally just stepping onto it is enough to get it onto the center stand, so that is very good. I do like a light scooter. These do come in a few different colours. You've got red, blue, grey and black. This grey colour, I think it looks pretty nice. I like it, but let me know what you think. I like the looks on this one. And I've got to say, I am on a roll at the minute for finding scooters that have low seat heights. Seat height is 760 millimeters, so that's pretty low as far as scooters go. And it has the step through as well, so very easy to get on and off, no stretching required. And for someone like myself, 5'8", 29-inch inseam, I am flat-footed both sides, bending the knee, so you could be smaller than me and still be comfortable and flat-footed on this bike. But if you are taller, as is the way with scooters, you literally scoot back a little bit, and yeah, all of a sudden I'm on the balls of my feet. I'm not flat foot, so you can move back and forward depending on your own leg length. But even at the back where I'm towards the back of the rider's seat, yeah, it doesn't feel tall for me because it's so light. You don't feel like if you sway over too much it's going to be a bit unsteady, because it literally feels like it weighs nothing. Seating position on this, you do have the step through, but unlike a lot of bikes of this type, there's a little bit of a cruiser position there with your leg forward. And you can, if I scoot right back, I can pretty much do a straight leg on that as well. People with longer legs might not be able to do the same, not without sitting on the pillion seat at the back, but I can do it. Yeah, feels comfortable, seat feels nice and plush, and Yeah, I'm not stretching for the bars, nice bend in the elbow, so it does feel like a comfortable place to be. And it's so easy. Getting on and off these bikes is just no drama. I mean, I suppose with a seat height like this, even getting on the back, it's not going to be an issue at all. Now, I've mentioned the seat, very comfortable. The rear pillion, should you want to take one, there is a nice grab handle there, so yeah, you've got a few different positions you can go in for that. And as far as your pegs go, they're built into the rider's step through at the front. Your pillion's feet are going there. That is the walk round done. Now I'm going to take this bike out for a ride. It is getting on to mid-afternoon. It is very busy in Warrington, so there's going to be loads of traffic, but that for me is where these types of bikes just excel. If you're looking for a work commuter, if you're looking to do a couple of miles to and from college, university, whatever, if you're going through busy town centres, you really can't beat a scooter. So let's find out what this one's like. Let's go. Let's see what this sounds like. Okay, so you can actually rev this one a little bit before it wants to go, so you've got like a second. Yeah, it sounds all right actually. Let's do the usual, let's turn it round, let's see what it's like for a tight turn. I know it's easy again because it's a really low seat, so I don't have all that mither of having to balance it. I can just keep my feet on the floor while I'm doing it, but nice and easy from there to here, loads of room. Yeah, good. Let's take it on the cobbles. Now this has just got the one shock, and yeah, you can feel the bumps of the cobbles. It's not like really uncomfortable, but you can notice a difference. Certainly from the last sim that I went on, the Symphony that I went on, seemed to be a lot more comfortable down the cobbled road. Let's see what speed I can get to before the junction. Okay, that was a good little performance test. So we got to 30 mile an hour and got to stop. Now there are some scooters I've been on around here that haven't got to 30 mile an hour on that stretch of road, so that means that the performance on this is, well, it's a sim, so it's very sim-like. They are very nippy from a standing start, I've got to say, because I've said it about every single one I've ever ridden. I think it's just facts. Sim do seem to make really good engines for these little scooters. Yeah, the brakes are really sweet as well. Look at that, joined by a fellow scooter rider. Let's do a bit of sneaking, I think. Yeah, I think we'll do some sneaking there. This is, for me again, it's just like a lot of other scooter videos that I do, to be fair. These are, for me, the perfect way to get around town. They are, because the small, the light, the really nimble, in and out of traffic, not an issue. You can get through the tiniest of gaps. You can kind of, I mean, it's in the name, isn't it? You're scooting around, quite literally. But you can do it in relative comfort, I think. I wouldn't say this is as comfortable as the Symphony that I went on last time. However, it's not uncomfortable. It feels quite nimble to throw around. It's quite comfortable on the bends, to be fair. I think you do notice actually this has got the smaller wheels in comparison to the Sim Symphony, so I think a combination of the smaller wheels and only having the one shock at the rear, it does make a difference as far as comfort goes. But it's certainly not uncomfortable. It's just where the Sim Symphony was like being sat on a pillow where you kind of wafted over everything. This one, you just notice the lumps and bumps a little bit more. But it's not uncomfortable. It's still a nice bike to ride. I'm not feeling any vibration really via the seat. I'm doing 35 mile an hour. I'm doing 30 mile an hour. And yeah, there's no vibrations to speak of through the backside, through the arms, the arms. No vibrations through the hands, the feet, the backside. And yeah, the mirrors either, they're just nice and stable. Yeah, I've not actually got much to complain about, again, because it's a Sim know what they're doing when it comes to these scooters. And a lot of people always ask about reliability. From speaking to the mechanics that work on these bikes are very reliable bikes, as long as they're maintained as they should, so you know, service when they're supposed to, etc. And they'll just keep going. The people that get these bikes and they do some serious miles on them because they're keeping up with the service intervals and all that stuff. So yes, they will keep going as long as you look after them. But it's like anything, if you abuse them, you don't look after them, then yeah, you will reduce the lifespan of your bike. Riding comfort, everything is good. Performance is decent. It's going to do over 60 miles an hour. It feels nippy up to 30-40 mile an hour. It's just like every other Sim I've been on, to be fair. They just feel really punchy from just from a standing start. They feel really like nippy and nimble, and yeah, this is no different to any other Sim that I've been on. They are actually just very pleasant. For me, Sim make the best, I'm going to say, budget friendly scooters, and I do think that because the engines on them are really, really good, and the performance and just everything about them. They've been making scooters for that long now. They know how to make a good scooter, and this is just another example of it. The bike rides really nicely. It's got good performance. The brakes are good. I actually like the looks of the bike as well. I know that's always a subjective thing. Some people might not, but I do. I like the looks of it, and I like how it rides. And at this price point, it's got to be something that you consider if you're looking for a 125 scooter. Anyway, I could just keep talking and waffling on for ages, but I'm not going to. It is what it is. Great price. And if it's something that you're interested in, I'll put a link in the description for Into Moto. Yeah, I'm just going to point out again, because people keep asking me if I work here. I don't get paid by Into Moto. Any money I earn comes from ad revenue via YouTube, or whatever anybody is kind enough to give me via buy me a coffee or the super likes that you can do now on YouTube. Yeah, that's where I get my money. I don't get a penny from these guys in here. They just allow me to go on their bikes and take their bikes out for review. So yeah, fair play to them. They're the guys that keep these videos coming out. Without them letting me take these bikes out, well, it would, yeah, I'd be very sad. So big thanks to Into Moto. Link in the description. I'm going. Catch you on the next one. Laters. YouTube. Oh yeah. He's a killer. That's right.